Just glad to be in the house of the Lord one more time. Glad I was able to get out the bed. Lord, have mercy. It's a blessing just to be able to get out the bed. Amen. And we thank God for being here. It's good to see all of you again. Every time we meet, we should be happy that we are meeting together again. We're on lesson 12. We're about to kill this book. We're on lesson 12 today. And as he mentioned, a servant girl points Naaman to God. We're in 2 Kings in the 5th chapter. And as you read this lesson, you should have realized that this whole lesson is about pride, and that it will get you nowhere. Just realize that pride will get you nowhere. Sometimes we're so proud that we don't want to accept the blessing. And this is the case that happened in Naaman. Now, for Naaman and to Naaman, but he thought he was so high and mighty that things should have been worked out different than they were. So when we start in, our lesson doesn't start, it starts at the first verse. It begins to tell you about Naaman, who he was. Begin to tell you that he was a captain in the Syrian army under King Aram. And the Bible says he was a great man with his master. King Aram was very pleased with Naaman and his service, and he was successful. He was a courageous warrior. He was, and the Bible say, a mighty man of valor. So he was brave. He went to war, but after they got through giving him all of his accolades and telling how wonderful he was and what things he had accomplished, then there was a little phrase in there that said, but he was a leper. Lord, have mercy. All of this good you have done, all these things that you have done and accomplished, but you were a leper. And leprosy was a chronic, and now it's curable, but in that day it wasn't curable, infectious disease causing skin lesions and nerve damage. That's what leprosy was. And back in that time, if you had it, you couldn't be around other people because it was highly contagious and infectious. And they had to be off in a camp somewhere by themselves. And if they were, y'all saw other people coming around, they had to scream leper, leper, so that they would know to stay away from them. So leprosy was not one of these kind diseases. It was very infectious, and it caused a lot of pain, a lot of swelling, and it was just a terrible thing. And like I said, some of the countries isolated them. They could not be in the public. They couldn't be around other people, amen. But during this time, the Syrian army had went out to war, and they had captured some of Israel's people, and they brought them to their camp. So this one young maiden had been brought to the camp, and she ended up being Naaman's wife's servant. And so they had brought him in, and she said to her mistress, I wish my Lord were with the prophet that is in Samaria. Now, I just wish there was some way that he could get there, because this girl had faith, because he would be able to recover him from his leprosy. Now, that's some kind of faith, isn't it? She believed that if he got in contact with the prophet, that this could be cured. And he would be cured. And he would recover. And Naaman told the king what the maid had said. So the king allowed him to go and find Elisha. And he wrote a letter. Let me see some more pride. He wrote a letter to the king of Israel. And so Naaman gathered up everything. He had lots of gifts to give to the prophet and everything. 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, 10 changes of clothing. And he took the letter to the king of Israel. Now you need to pay close attention, because the king of Israel didn't react too well to this. He was kind of letter, he rent his clothes, tore them off, rent his clothes, and said, am I God to kill and to make alive? He is seeking a quarrel with me. He went off right there. Have y'all ever had news that just made you go right off? You didn't stop to think. You just, bam, went off. This is the king. They let you know that some people are in positions that they are really not equipped to handle. That's even the good today. A lot of people are in positions that they are not equipped to handle. So he was very upset. When Elisha heard that the king had did all of this and was all upset and tore his clothes off and everything, he sent word to the king, why have you torn up? See, he reminds me sort of Bishop Watson. I call him Cool Hand Luke. Because it don't matter what go on. It don't matter who did what. He's still cool. Ah, Lord have mercy. I don't know how we ever got together, because I don't have that gift, just to stay cool all the time. But, Elisha said, why have you torn off your clothes? What's wrong with you? In other words, the vernacular of the day, what's wrong with you? You are the king. What is the problem? Why have you torn off your clothes? Just let him come to me, that he may know. There was a reason Elisha wanted him to come. That he may know that there is a God. Oh, God, in Israel. I want him to know this, so just let him come on. I know who he is. I know what kind of accolades have been attributed to him. I know he is a man of, I know all of this. But just let him come to me, because I want to prove to all of them that there is a God in Israel. You know what we should be doing? We should be going out proving to Ypsilanti that there is, oh Lord have mercy, a God in Ypsilanti. Oh yeah, and he working, y'all. He working. Ah, Lord have mercy. So Naaman came with horses and chariots, stood at the doorway of Elisha, and Elisha sent a message out to him. Said, go wash in the Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to you, and you will be clean. Well, that didn't go over well. Have you ever got news that didn't go over well? And you had to turn around and come right back to that same news that you had the first time. Ain't nobody had to do that? The first time. You had to come back to that same news. And so, Naaman, the Bible says he was wroth, which means he was very angry because his pride had been abused and beat down, and he telling me to do some stuff like this. Lord have mercy, what's wrong? The Bible said he was very angry. Tell me, saints, what do angry people do? You know what? Some of us get angry, we dangerous. I'm telling you. Some people get angry and they're dangerous. This is why the Bible said, be angry and sin not. But if you're not real careful, when the anger comes, you gonna do something out of the will of the Lord. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. You're gonna do something out of the will of the Lord. And y'all know my saying, if you get to the point you're angry, don't open it. Don't open it. Keep it closed. Because something gonna come out that's not in agreement with the word. Oh, Lord have mercy. He was very upset. He said, and this is where Bishop get the I syndrome. He said, I thought he would surely come out to me and stand there and call on the name of the Lord his God. Notice he didn't say, because he wasn't no God man. Lord his God, and wave his hand over the place and cure the leprosy. I thought, do he really, in other words, let's go to it real in our day. Do he know who I am? Does he really know that I am renowned, that I'm a great man with my king? Does he understand the position I hold? Does he understand that I've gone to war and captured people and I've won wars and I've done? Do he know I'm a warrior? What's wrong with him? Y'all know people like that. You know you do. Yeah. What's wrong with him? I know he can do this. What's wrong? The young girl told me he could do it. And now he out here sending me a message. And you know how we are. Didn't lay hands on him or nothing. Didn't do none of that he was expecting him to do. And then he began to rant about the rivers. He said, are not Abana and Parfar rivers in Damascus better than all the waters of Israel? What about these other clean rivers and lakes of water? You know, what's wrong with them? How come he wouldn't let me do this? How come he, you know what? Sometimes we challenge God like that, and it's a shame to say, but it is the truth. How come you didn't do this? How come you didn't answer this? How come? Oops. He said, Jordan, in other words, Jordan River is dirty and muddy. I looked up the history on it, and it's true. It's true. The Jordan was muddy. But you got leprosy. I don't care how you go, you still have leprosy. I don't care how many battles you win, you still have leprosy. And you still need somebody that can get in touch with God for you to deliver you. I just pretend it's not leprosy. Let's pretend it's us and we got something that we need done. And the prophet tell us what to do. And we mad at the prophet because he didn't come. And Bishop Nelson is so crazy. He said, and rub us down in baboon oil. He said that openly in a meeting. See, almost the same scenario. He was upset because the man didn't come out and wave his hand over him and lift up his hands and pray to the Lord your God and deliver me from this. In fact, the girl said, if I got to you, can't you see him ranting and raving? Can't you see yourself ranting and raving to God? You know he didn't do stuff like you wanted him to do it. Y'all know, all of us done had that experience that we thought he was going to do it and he didn't do it. He wasn't on your time anyway. Oh. And we be ranting and raving to God. Y'all know, even Moses got upset with God. Yeah. But did it help him? I just want to know, when Moses did it help him? I got the answer. I want to know, when you did it help? I got the answer. And the answer is no. It did not help for you to rant and rave to God about something that he did or did not do. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy, Jesus. So he ranted and raved about the water and carried on about the water and wanted to do it his, wanted to do it his way. That's so classic about us, isn't it? We want to, if he tell you one thing, you want to do it your way. If he tell you how to do it, give you all the instructions, but you want to take shortcuts and do it your way. I remember one time, Damon drove us to Albion, I think it was, somewhere up there where Bishop had to preach. And coming back, he decided that he was going to take the shortcut and not go on the highway. We went through cow patches, cows out there mooing on all these little streets. It was supposed to be a quicker way and a better way. Well, sometimes what we think is a better way is not a better way. And we need to get it in our head that your way is never a better way than God's way. Never. It just don't work for you. So he ran and waved a while, and he turned and went away, the Bible say, in a rage. Tell me something. How do you act when you're angry? Y'all just talk to me right there. Everybody in here been angry at some time or another, right? Mm-hmm. How did you act? Yes, sir? Sometimes what? You confront folk. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brother Keith. He said you're not good around people anymore when you get angry. When we get angry, we do stuff. Break stuff. Hit people. Y'all, yes, disorderly conduct. I don't need you acting like you didn't, because you know you did. Especially in them BC days, that's before Christ came into your life and helped you out with this. Your BC days, I probably don't even want to talk about it because I done heard y'all testimony. So we don't need to talk about what you did on the BC days. But he was in a rage. He had the remedy for what was ailing him, but he was in a rage because it didn't go like he wanted it to go. And we are the same way. Had it not been for the Lord, we would be cutting up too about a whole lot of stuff that have gone on. Mm-hmm. And how people have mistreated us. We'd be out there, y'all. But I'm so glad for Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He felt like he was. That's what I told him. Do you know who I am? Wave his hand over and do something. Like Bishop said, rub him down with baboon oil and say the words. And, he was upset. He said, in his spirit, he was saying, this man could not know who I am. He doesn't know how great I am. Oops. Well, we're over with the pride now. He don't know how great I am. He doesn't know what I have accomplished. And sometimes we think we're greater than we are. I don't know what you have accomplished, but whatever it was, God allowed you to be able to do it. Oh, Lord. And we're going to clown with the Lord? That's essentially the same thing. He clowned with this prophet and went away in a rage, and his servant. Let me see. Now, y'all need to understand how this happened. The servants had to come to him and straighten him out in the most humble way they knew how. They had to come to him. Why would it take a servant to go to the mighty man of valor and explain to him how stuff works? That happens to us all the time. It happens to us all the time. And we get carried away. Somebody has to come to you and remind you who you are and what you have been told. In other words, you have to be obedient to the instructions. And that's a problem we have today. We do not want to follow instructions. I don't care what kind of instruction it is. Recipes, I told you about the cakes. Recipes, we don't know, I need a shortcut. Driving all through the cow patches because you want a shortcut. Going here, there, and elsewhere because you want a shortcut. Follow the directions, and you come out much better. You come out so much better. And so his servant came to him and said to him, and he even called him his father, my father, if the prophet had told you some great thing to do, would you have not done it? Oops, that's a question. If he had told you some great elaborate process to go through, would you have refused to do it? Would you have? That's I'm God getting his attention now, because he know he was filled up with pride about who he was and what he had accomplished. It doesn't matter what you accomplish. We as people of God got to remember who allowed us to be able to do it. You know what? The saints don't understand. You're not doing this on your own. You can't heal a flea. You can't heal a headache. You can't heal nothing. But if you pray and you in the right standing with God, he will do it because of who you are and who he has made you to be and who he has decided to use to bring about this thing. It's not us. It's all God. And it wasn't this man filled with pride. But it was going to be, when it happened, it was going to be all God. Our problem is we don't want to give God credit for what he does. We want to think we did it. Oh, I prayed for 10 people today and all 10 of them was delivered. Because I prayed for them. What? Come on, people. We can't, no. We can't go there. We can't go there. He said, would you not have done that? And how much rather then when he said, go wash and be clean? Why can't you do that? It doesn't matter what kind of condition the river is in. If the instruction said, go wash and be clean, it's not going to change. Because if you go to the Jordan and you dip 7 times, you're going to be clean. But I can't do that. My position won't allow me to do that. It's like that bishop I told y'all about. He said he couldn't apologize to nobody because his position wouldn't allow it. What is that? Some more proud? Some more pride? Some more? My position, I'm a bishop, I'm a pastor, but I can't apologize to nobody for nothing because my position. Y'all analyze that. And let me know. Let me know. The more submissive you should become. Humility is a gift. Because you going around with a whole lot of arrogance is not going to help your case in God's eyes. Do what you're told to do. If the prophet told you to do it, do it. We still suffering from that same stuff today, right today. And I'm saying right in the church. Amen. Right. Remember when Bishop B in his high gear and he tell us to go and touch a door or something? It ain't the door. It's the obedience. This man here couldn't understand why he had to be obedient because my position says that I'm the man. So you the man and you keep the scales and the lesions and everything. You be the man with all that. Huh? Yes, ma'am. To clarify. a real prophet of God, not a false prophet. Because the false prophet told Israel, you ain't going to be there down in Babylon long. You ain't going to be there long. You just be there a little while and then you come out. That's a false prophet. But Jeremiah told him, you going in. And you going to stay in for the complete time that God said you was going to stay there. So I'm referring to a real prophet of God, called by God, instructed by God. I'm not talking about these people getting up, going on the internet and getting some papers. I'm talking about they're a man of God, they're a bishop. Why are you buying papers? I'm apostle now. So I'm talking about real prophets of God. Because if a prophet started off with you telling a lie, then why should you believe anything he said? There you go. Did I get you? There you go. So Naaman went down. Finally, he come to his senses. And guess who had to bring him to his senses? A servant. Somebody that he thought nothing of. Somebody that he thought on the lowest peg had to bring it to his attention. You know, sometimes people that are not even saved have to bring stuff to our attention. Ooh, saints. We ought to be ashamed, shouldn't we? Why is it a person that don't even know God, like you are supposed to know him, is giving you instructions about what God is requiring? It happens. And it still happens. So here we go. He went down and dipped 7 times in the muddy Jordan. According to the sayings of the man of God. See, that's it right there, Sister Pfeiffer. The man of God. Everybody that say they're a prophet is not a man of God. Bottom line. Because when the prophet says something and give you instructions, and he is directly from God, you don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to happen. But if a false prophet start telling you stuff, number one, you lied in the first part, and now you're going to tell me to do something. Now, did God tell you to tell me that? Or did he tell you to lie? The answer is no. God ain't told nobody to lie. Because he already said all liars. Should I even finish it? Let's go on with the lesson. Dipped in the Jordan according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh came again, and he was clean. Because he finally realized, I must obey. And Elisha, he wanted to make sure that people knew that there is a God in Israel. Lord have mercy. Have mercy, Jesus. We should be making it our prime job to let people in Ypsilanti know there's a God here. And he's still working. He's still doing miracles. It was not just in the Bible. He's doing miracles right now. He's bringing people out right now. He's saving people right now. He's healing people right now. We need to let Ypsilanti know. I think COVID just kind of shut everybody down. We ain't witnessing to nobody. We ain't witnessing to nobody. No. But we need to be, Elisha was determined that I want them to know that there is a God in Israel. I want them to be assured of this fact. And this is my perfect, that's when he told the king, why in the world is you tearing off your clothes? What is the real problem? Well, he come to dig make a quarrel with me. Bring the man in here. Let him come to my house. It'll be all right. I had to calm the king. Now, what is that? You got to calm the king down. What that sound like, saints? But sometimes we do have to calm people down that are over us And we have to bring them down back to reality because they go off. They go off. But our problem is we need to learn how not to go off when they go off. See? Yes, sir. Calm. Mm-hmm. His position would have allowed him to do that, but I'm so glad he didn't do it because he'd still be a leper. Oops. Hmm. Sometime when the information comes and it doesn't come through who you thought it was going to come by, you dismiss it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Yeah, you dismiss it. Well, this don't mean nothing. Look who he came from. No, you don't know who God using. We need to get to that. I have heard people say they don't want this, that, and the other one to pray for me. You get in the prayer line. Can I have Bishop pray for me? Help! You in the? Is your hand up? Oh, you just got. Oh, okay. Well, go ahead on. And when you say about information, I'm saying this because it's true. Our baby came to me, 11 years old. He says to me, keep knowing he was there. He said, Big Mama, my grandkids probably said, he said, Big Mama, he said, read the word. Oh my God. And look, he not only did he say read the word, he said, and obey. Did you hear me? He said, obey. This was a baby. Well, it wasn't anything you hadn't heard before, was it? Ain't nothing you hadn't heard before. We've been hounding on this for God knows how long. Obey. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Do what God said do. We've been chomping on it ever since we got saved. And everybody knows they're supposed to obey, but it's going to take a child to come and tell his grandmother, read the word. And not only just read it, mine called me Nana. Not only just read it, Nana, obey it. See that? And sometimes they'll tell it with an attitude. Just do what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do. Y'all remember Sister Stacy came in here and told us her son said, this is all your fault. All this stuff that's going on is your fault. Oops. A child will tell you, won't they? Oh, yeah, they'll tell you. Mm-hmm. So his problem was that I think because of who I am, the least he could have did was to send me to a clean river. Why have I got to go into a muddy river? Didn't you see attitude just jumping out everywhere? What's wrong with this? Is he a real prophet? What is he doing? That's how the human mind works. He'll tell you a whole lot of stuff that's incorrect and keep you from doing what you're supposed to do to get your victory. You know why a whole lot of us don't have victory? That me, you, the Pope, everybody. Because we don't follow instructions. No, yes, sir.
This man didn't even want to go to no river. He wanted Elijah to come out and rub him down. This man had already had it in mind what he wanted. See, and that's right. That's the thing about human beings. We want it our way.
That's true.
But it don't come our way.
It don't come our way.
It got to come the way the word says.
That's right.
And the word came out of the man of God's mouth was wash. And he gave him Pacific
Yes.
River.
Yes.
He didn't tell him no river in Egypt. Not, he told him to go down in Jordan. We just got to the point we want to do it our way. That's why it's not getting done.
And it never worked. Your way never worked. And I want to tell you today, how can the creature outthink the creator? Y'all want to help me with that? Y'all gonna help me, right? We are the creature. He is the creator. He knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows what's in us and what need to come out forever and never enter again. He knows. This man was so set on what he was and who he was that he couldn't even accept the deliverance when it came to his door. You should have come out and talked to me. Oh, Jesus. You should have come out and said something to me. You should have come out and waved your hand and talked to your God and told him, and I would be healed. You should have, you should have, you should have. Go and do what I told you. Go do what I told you. Yeah. And this is not where the story ends, y'all. I'm about to the end of my notes, but this ain't where the story ends. He was healed, and the people knew that there was a God in Israel. But he had hurt pride, he had angry pride, and God had to break him down to no pride. Get over there to the river. Same instruction he told you before. Get over to the river and dip 7 times. That's not how the story ends. After he got all fixed up, he wanted to give Elisha a whole lot of gifts and stuff. Did y'all read the rest of it? He wanted to give him the gifts and stuff. And Elisha said, nope, no, we ain't taking nothing. We ain't taking the thing. And so after he just kept on telling him he wasn't going to take it, then Naaman left. But Gehazi, which was Elisha's servant, after he had left, he went and chased him down. Caught up to him. Oh, no, he didn't catch up to him. Naaman looked back and saw him coming, and he stopped his horse and chariot. And he went out there and said that, well, we decided that we did want a little something, and the Bible tell you exactly what he took. And then he took and put it in his domain. And then he came back to the presence of Elisha. And Elisha said, where have you been? Right then he lied. I ain't been nowhere, master. Oh, Jesus. Read it. It's in there. I ain't been nowhere. He said, yes, you have. You've been somewhere. He said, this is not the time for us to be taking gifts. And that's why I didn't take them in our language today. That's why I didn't take them, because this is not the time to be receiving gifts for the work of the ministry. Stuff we're doing for the Lord is not the time. And he said, for that reason, the leprosy that Naaman had is now going to rest on you for the rest of your life. Did y'all read that part? The rest of your life. You see what you see what pride do? And you see what greed will do? Oh, Lord. And what if you mix the two together? Pride and greed. Oh, God. It's a deadly combination, saints. We cannot operate in pride. I think it's in Proverbs. Pride goeth before what? And a haughty spirit before a fall. So Naaman had a haughty spirit. And he came to himself and was able to be delivered. But pride will get you. A haughty spirit will get you. You ain't all that. You ought to be giving God praise for what you are. Thanking him that you ain't what you was in your BC days. You ought to be giving him praise for that. Instead of you running around thinking you all that and he should have done better than this by me. Because after all, I'm Naaman. I'm the chief commander of King Aram. I've been to war and I've won wars and Bishop talked about that, didn't he? And will get you in trouble. That is not a spirit of humility. Humility is the higher you go, the more humble you become. Because you thanking God, what? For what he has done. And how he has delivered you. And how he has elevated you. So you telling God thank you with your humility. But you ain't telling God thank you when you say, I'm all that. I can't apologize because my position will not allow me because I'm great. I'm wonderful. You know, we don't need to be running around thinking we all that. And we look at people that are not saved and, Lord have mercy. Well, you was just like that. You wasn't born saved. You did a lot of stuff. Oh, Jesus, make us sit down. No, we did a lot of stuff. And those that had saved parents, we didn't do a lot of stuff. But the little bit that we could get into, we did it. Yeah, we did it. Because the mom and dad had caught you doing some stuff. Oh, Lord, would you have lived to tell about it? Yeah, oh, Lord, have mercy. So Elisha made his point. He let them know that there is a God in Israel. And we need to let people know there's still a God that works miracles. Miracles are not over. He can still do miracles. He can still work out problems. He can still heal bodies. Oh, God, I thank you. He can still raise the dead. Why? Because he's God and he never loses his power. And know this, the blood still works. The name still works. The word still works. And we ought to embrace it with all we got in it. Questions? Comments? Nothing. Question, comments, nothing. God bless you.